What's up? I don't have a lot of videos yet. Usually I try to start with an idea. I thought today I'll just improvise. Let's make this video about improvising and why it's useful in life, why it's a necessity. I remember I was at school oftentimes. I had PTSD. I was very stressed. I never studied. I was also lazy, obviously. Not anymore. Not so much anymore. Um, but I was very lazy because of my PTSD. And basically, everyone would always study for these book readings. We had to read a book, then we had to come in front of the class, and we had to speak about what the book was about. And for some reason, I've always been good with the language, and I never studied. I usually even didn't read the book. I used to read a small summary. I know a lot of you have also done this, but for some reason, my teachers always gave me better grades than people who had actually read the book and studied it. Because they said I came on organic, and they said it felt like, I didn't really study it. That's literally what they said, and I was just giggling like, yeah, no, I didn't. Of course, I didn't say this, but I would be great at improvising. I would just bullshit my way out of things. I've done this a lot. I've lied a lot in my youth, which was very weird because, again, I had so much stress and trauma. Still, I wanted to be a bad boy, or I don't know. I just like to lie, I guess. Not really. I never felt good doing it, but I was pretty fucking great at it. The trick is to convince yourself that whatever you're telling is true. And that's a very scary feeling. Because after a while, if you keep believing your own lies, you kind of forget what is truth and what isn't. So don't do this, please. But it's an interesting thing about improvising in general, or talking to people. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Literally anything. And if you believe it, people will believe it. Don't do this. Those are salespeople. They're assholes. They've been born to just suck your money away and your energy. I was a salesperson for a while. I used to sell these charities. Went from door to door in the rain, in the cold, sometimes in the summer. It was nicer. People would give me drinks and shit. You had to bullshit a lot. I'm not saying I did it then, because for some reason life changes. As a child, I would lie a lot, like a lot. If I would stay up late, I would be on my phone, etc. I would always lie, and I would always find a way to bullshit myself out of these things. But when I grew older, I just realized that it was hurting myself to lie. So I stopped lying. And at a certain point in my life, this actually was a very big disadvantage when I was selling these things. Because there were friends or relatives who would work together with me, employees, colleagues is the right term. And basically, very simply put, they were all great at selling bullshit. You could literally fart in a bag and they would, get €100 for it. Literally. I'm not even kidding. They were so good at bullshitting and at making people believe their bullshit. I couldn't do it at that time. I had already realized the karmic principles of life. If you do bad, bad will come back to you. That's why I've stopped lying for the most part. I still catch myself doing it sometimes, but it's important to apologize afterwards. Then you kind of break the karmic cycle. You kind of break the pattern and you realize, oh wow, I'm not going to do that anymore because it just backfires, and also I don't want to hurt people. But that was interesting, that you can bullshit your way into anything and anyone can or will believe you. Most people will, because they're so stuck in their own little game. They're so craving for love and desire all the time. They just will believe anything from a happy kid with a smile on his face. literally. Even though those guys were literally thinking, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get your money. It was a sketchy thing, man, this whole charity thing. Most of it didn't even go to charity. Like, most of it just went to my boss, and I think only 30% of all of it went to charity, which is like nothing. But at the same time, I got it. Otherwise, people wouldn't give money to charity at all. They just wouldn't come. So it's like, I guess I kind of understood, but it was a loose situation. Loose situation. Was sketch, man. Anyways, something else. Let's still stick to the subject of improvising. Everything I'm doing right now is improvising. And I think an important part of improvising is that it's a self-expression. It's coming truly from the heart, or even the mind connection, subconscious connection. It's one of the truest forms of self-expression in a way when it comes to socializing and talking. Usually when people are talking in general, they're improvising all the time, right? But for me right now, just saying these things, it doesn't even feel like I'm saying it. I believe in God. I believe in a higher force that is guiding all of us 100%. And when you improvise, I guess it's a way to connect better with God, literally. When you do any form of self-expression, dance, make music, sing, improvise, play theater, all of these things, what they have in common is that you let go of the idea that you are in control. I'm not saying free will doesn't exist. I don't really know whether it does or not. It doesn't matter. Nothing changes. Nothing will change whether free will exists or not. Everything will still be the same. We'll still believe we have free will. Doesn't matter. All I'm saying is, once you let go of all of these things, you get to a deeper state or a deeper level of consciousness, and it's a place in which everything merges together. A place where you realize that everything is one and nothing matters anymore. And at the same time, everything matters. I don't want to sound nihilistic. It's nothing matters in a very good sense. It's like all your problems just fade away. That's why people go party every weekend, right? That's why people go party. What do they do there? They talk, they dance, they improvise. Improvising is a great, great tool to learn. To just step into your source and to let go of this mind. To just let go of it completely, because it's not a lot of bullshit. We need the mind to survive. The mind is a beautiful tool. But if the mind is controlling you, you can't improvise. You can't be true to yourself, because being true to yourself means being true to God, to a higher force or a higher energy that is guiding you. And if you let yourself be guided, you'll get there. You know, an ego might fight. Why would I let God control me? I don't believe in God. I have so much pain in my life. Exactly, because you're fighting against the natural flow of things. That's the whole point. It's like you want to walk up a mountain. Everyone wants to get to the top. But how will you get there if you don't have a guide? Literally. You will probably just fall the first creek and you'll drown. You'll fall in a volcano or whatever. You need a higher purpose in life. You need a connection. And if you can't find it in God, then you must find it in yourself. But if you can find it in yourself, it actually means you have connected to God, actually. Swami Vivekananda said something along the lines of, you cannot believe in God if you cannot believe in yourself. Because you are God. We are all that one thing. Me as an individual, I'm not God. I don't have a God complex. But I am God, experiencing this body, experiencing this video. But me as Aslan is not that at all. I'm just a human being. And if I improvise, which is again not really me doing the improvising, I can just flow. And it's sometimes really hard to get into this state. I meditate daily, take cold showers, practice seam retention, all of the things, right? Still, life just throws you off. And it's exactly at those moments that life throws you off that improvising is even the more important. Because at a subtler level, improvising can also be done as an individual. If you lose the connection with God, if everything seems to be fucked up, you're somewhere and you're just stressing, I think improvising is actually a key to kind of get back into the flow instead of following the mind. Oh no, I've fallen down on the ground and dog shit. These people are staring at me. Then you just start improvising. You're just like, let's just dance all the way home. Let's just sing all the way home. Let's just flow all the way home. If that's possible for you, you will forget the dog shit was even there. Literally. And people will laugh at you while you walk down the street all the time. Or they will look at you and they will be like, you stink. And you'll be like, whatever, dude. Jealous. That's how it goes. This is 10 minutes. That's what I want to keep my videos at. If you have any betterments, things that I could change that are better, please let me know. Obviously, that's important. I'm mainly doing this for myself. I want to create, not consummate. And it's an interesting thing, but this is for another video. If you start creating shit, your mind starts to work. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. If you just consume all the time, Reddit, YouTube, all these social medias, your mind stops working. Not in the good way. When you meditate, your mind stops working in a good way. You just observe the mind. But meditation actually makes your mind more powerful. You're more in control. You can use it to do more work, to be more productive, to achieve shit in life, to be happy. When you consume, you kind of get, I don't know what happens exactly. It feels like the mind shuts itself down. That's what it feels like, right? When you watch Netflix all the time. That's the reason people do it, because they want to silence the mind. But if you want to silence the mind, meditate, because it will strengthen your mind. Watching or consuming anything will weaken the mind a lot. It will weaken your power over the mind. It will actually strengthen the chaos of the mind, which is exactly what the people are escaping for in the first place, obviously. But it's a vicious circle, like all of these dopamine related things. It's all a vicious circle. It's all desire. Nothing wrong with desire. It's actually craving. Craving is the kind of, I guess, dangerous counterpart of desire, where you want to eat junk food all day long, or check off, or just lust for a girl or a man. Just think in your mind. All the shit that's related to higher levels of dopamine fucks you up. It just completely fucks you up. I'm not even kidding. Don't do that shit. Stay away from it. The last 2 days, I fought my ass off. The last weeks, actually, I fought my ass off. So much lust came. So much craving for junk food. So much. Every time that shit comes, I go take a cold shower. I go for a walk. I talk about it with someone. And I feel fucking amazing. Every time you beat a craving, every time you beat this challenge, this quest of the mind that has been put on your path, every time you just confront the dragon and you slay it, you feel like a fucking knight. You feel like a fucking knight with a golden and diamond laid sword. You feel so powerful. You drop your shield, and that's when it gets dangerous. Always stay humble. I've had many times where I thought I had conquered the dragon. But you have to know the dragon has not just 7, the dragon has 1,000,000 heads. And every time you cut one off, it's not that they grow back necessarily. It's just that there's still 999,000 dragons. And if then you think dragon heads, and if then you think that you've beaten the dragon because you've slayed one head, you're making a big mistake. So you bow down your own head, you pray. If you believe in God, to God. If you believe in the universe, if you believe in yourself, to yourself, but you pray. Prayer is a big necessity in life. Prayer is like, I find this hard to explain to people who don't pray. You don't have to pray to a God if you don't want to believe, but you have to pray. You have to actively engage in thinking about your life. Otherwise, nothing will change. Nothing will change. No matter what you want or what you don't want, you don't get what you want, you get what you attract. That's the thing. So if you just, all this shit happens in your life and you're just like, wow, that sucks. But you don't reflect on it. You don't think, how can I change this next time? how can I get out of a situation like this in the next time? If you don't do that, nothing will ever change. You'll just keep falling for the same traps. You'll keep getting narcissistic bosses. You'll keep getting narcissistic girlfriends or boyfriends. My dad was a narcissist, that's why I use this as an example. But you'll keep falling for the same traps. You'll keep having the same bad friends. You'll keep doing drugs. You'll keep partying, but really deep down inside, you don't like it. You feel like you're wasting your time and energy. You feel like, is this really what I want to do with my life? Jump up and down, break literally my fucking knees, take a bunch of drugs that will make me weak and sad for the coming week. And the funny thing is, people don't realize this because they don't take the time to reflect. If you take the time to reflect after a party, the days after, and you think logically about it, that you feel tired, you're like, oh, sure, it's because of the party. I realized a lot of people don't think about this. They eat junk food every day. And the next day they crave for more junk food. And they don't stand still by the idea that they crave it because they ate it the last day. No, they think, oh, I'm craving that, so I must need it. They think I'm craving a party, so I must need that party. And then the week after, because people don't realize this. They think they take ecstasy, they think they take a drug, and then you feel shit for a couple of hours, and then they feel like then they go back to school, back to work, like nothing is happening because they do this every week. That's the thing. They don't notice if they would stop doing this for a month, how much brain fog would lift, how much energy would return to them, how much love they would feel for themselves again, and realize all the things they've been doing is just straight up bad stuff, demonic shit. I'm not hating on parties. Parties can be nice. Ideally sober, literally. Because the only reason people take drugs is because they're afraid. But there is nothing to fear. You give in to the fear if you take drugs. You make your own fears stronger if you take any kind of sedative. Sugar is a sedative, big time. It's one of the most addictive drugs I've ever done. I'm not even kidding, man. I've done a lot of fucking drugs, a lot. Like the whole list, and then the whole famous list, and then a bunch of research chemicals, which is like even weirder shit. I've done the bunch, right? Sugar has been my ultimate enemy. My nemesis, my fucking arch nemesis. Sugar, man, is my fucking arch nemesis. Still, I battle that shit every day. I still live with my parents, so they eat junk food. Not a lot, but there's a closet and there's junk food, or a cupboard, as it's called, a cupboard. There's a cupboard and they eat fucking junk food now and then. And not every day, but sometimes I pass that cupboard and I just realize, oh fuck, the craving is there. That shit doesn't happen if you don't have it in your house in the first place. So just don't tempt yourself. Don't buy junk food, then you can't eat it. Don't buy a ticket for a party, then you can't take too many drugs, then you can't fuck up your sleep pattern, then you can't fuck up your life. It's very simple. If you want to be happy, you should just stop doing things. It doesn't mean be lazy. You should stop doing everything that makes you lazy in the first place, obviously, but it's pretty easy to be happy once you get it. And even then, sometimes you fall back down, and the moment you're down, everything seems impossible, and it's so fucking hard. Somewhere you just realize, yo, I've done this 1,000 times. I'll get back up. That's it. That's it. And I guess to tie it all down, you need to improvise. You need to improvise. You need to reflect on your life. Whenever shit like this happens, whenever bad shit happens, whenever you have given into the temptation, you need to improvise. You literally need to create your own life. There's no guidebook. I don't believe God is an actual, being in the sky that is watching over us. I believe God is energy, infinite energy. So there's not a being up there, as far as I can tell, that created rules. Sure, there's the Bible, and then there's the Quran and the Torah, I think. There's all these books, right? But these books have been written by enlightened beings, not by a god. Of course, these beings were, you know, tapped into the source of God. So you could say it's been written by God, but you have to improvise. That's the thing. These books are good. Religion is good for some people, it's very bad for others. Some will start wars over it, others will change their life and drop all of fighting. But what's important to remember is that you have to improvise. No matter who wrote that book, what's in the book, you have to write your own story. You have to create your own life. You have to improvise. It's that simple. I wish you a happy, merry, improvised life. Take care. Bless you. No, Hamza does this. I used to watch Hamza. I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna... No, I like giving kisses. Take care.